I want to do a podcast about films.
You can do what you like, mate.
Okay. Hello and welcome to Movie the Needle. My name's Simon and I'm joined by my good friend Carl, and this week we discuss our opposing viewpoints on an Oscar-winning 2001 movie focused on the story of John Nash, an American mathematician and his journey from student to codebreaker and through a battle with mental illness with a Nobel Prize. Hallucinations ensue. It's Ron Howard's A Beautiful Mind.
You want to talk about trussing me up again?
Dress you up like a common hooer.
Yes, as we bring the levels up. After last week's debacle.
I thought it went very well. I mean, that's a great start.
The rest of the... Well, I cut that out.
Oh, you can cut that out, but you won't cut me sounding like a moron. I see, that's fine.
I didn't even notice it.
Carry on.
Calm down.
Yeah.
There's plenty of time for you to make yourself seem like a moron.
If the last... How many episodes are we on?
What
13?
number is this? 13?
14? Yeah. This is 14, Jesus.
Oh,
I'm surprised I haven't lost interest.
I tell you what, yes. I mean, it's debatable. I've listened to some of what you said.
Okay, I lost interest in the middle, but it's fine. I'm back.
That's a lovely little segue. Have you seen we've had an email, like a real email?
No, we haven't.
Yeah.
It's not from bloody Buffer Man again, is it?
No. Right. Let me read you this out. So...
Is it a Nigerian prince?
No.
Ooh.
It's from somebody called Alex Sanfilippo.
Oh, hi, Alex. Number one fan, Alex.
Well, it reads like that. Hey, congrats on your success with Movie the Needle. I immediately noticed you've released more episodes than most podcasters ever do. Oh. So well done. You've kept interest.
This is clearly trying to sell us something.
Oh, it's going to cost us money, no doubt.
Yeah.
I'd love to listen to the show to support it. Well, I mean, nobody's stopping you.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. I mean, we are available everywhere.
What's one of your favourite recent episodes that I can start with? Drop me a link that I can listen. So the weird thing I don't get about this is obviously some cold calling.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
For the digital age.
Fan.
For the digital age, yeah. So he has seen our output somewhere.
Yep.
But wants me to do the legwork for him.
And say which is the best one.
To say, why don't you listen to this? Very, very strange. Anyway, yeah, he's saying, he said, take this quiz. It'll be data driven to help you reach your audience or whatever, expand your reach, yada yada yada. So yeah, this is something that's he's selling, and it says underneath right at the bottom, I'm a real person, but if you don't want to hear from me, click here. I respect your privacy and won't email you again. Now that reads to me like if I don't click there, he's going to email me, like he's going to keep pestering me.
We don't get any other emails. Just let him.
In fairness, it does say I won't email you again either way, but which then begs the question of, well, why do I have to click here?
Yeah.
What's that do? Anyway, so that's cold calling. So if you're listening, piss off, Alex.
Yeah, Alex. Fuck's sake.
Actually, I tell you what, no.
Actually, no. Listen to the podcast.
Yeah, listen.
Then piss off.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say listen, and if he actually listens and you've heard me telling you to piss off, give us another email and we'll give you a chance at what you're selling.
And then we'll click the button.
If you're not listening, piss off. No, that doesn't make any sense, does it?
Either way, who cares? Oh,
yeah,
you got my hopes up again. Well done. So that's twice now I've been fooled into almost thinking we had a fan.
Well, we've got some fun. Listen, on the subject of feedback.
Oh, yeah.
I know that you've shared a couple of bits and pieces that you've been messaged, and I've had a few people give me some feedback too. And I think it's very, very funny listening to how people hear what they want to hear, not necessarily what's been said in some cases.
Interesting.
And I mean, like, it's genuinely interesting as well. And I really think, I know we're planning one, but we should do a full episode addressing it because, let's say I got some on Star Wars.
Okay.
That was criticising you, which I'd love to get into. But again, it was very interesting because I didn't think the criticism was really warranted.
I think sometimes, right, the feedback that I get, I think sometimes they think that we don't get on and that by supporting me...
yeah, like,
it's like we're in a fight.
Your favourite.
Yeah. It's just like, what's he talking about? Hey.
But I genuinely do think it's interesting. In much the same way as we've set this up to talk about opposing viewpoints, I do think it's genuinely interesting how people are picking up on stuff, obviously, with their own biases. And it's like, well, no, we didn't say that. But I think an episode to actually discuss that would be
fun.
Would be fun. So we should definitely do that.
So on the same theme, I've received some requests. And I just want to say up front...
Jesus Christ.
We don't do requests.
It's not how it
works. No, I mean, on the off chance, something you suggest might be something that one of us likes and one of us doesn't. But there you go. But let me see what you think of some of these.
Okay, go on then. Let's throw it out there.
Luke B, he suggested his favourite movie, In Time.
Oh, the Justin Timberlake one.
Yeah.
I quite like it.
Yeah, me too.
Well,
that's
not happening.
Yeah. I said we did About Time. I mean, come on. Close enough.
You just listen to that again.
Yeah. Fight Club.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. How can you not like it?
Yeah.
Cocktail. We discussed
no,
about
I
this
like
one.
that as well.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I mean, ambivalent at worst, I guess. It's probably where I'd be on that one.
Well, we'll put that in the maybe pile then.
And then that was from Mike C. And then Sarah S. Formula Sarah C. Barbie. Which
I've not seen it. No.
I think there's potential there, though. I think there might be one you...
Maybe. I mean,
it's the kind of thing you tear
seems
apart.
all right from the synopsis and whatnot and from the bits and pieces I've heard.
Yeah, get it watched anyway. It's worth a watch.
Yeah. It's not high on my list, though. This is the problem.
Yeah. It's easy watching. Well, it is when you watch films like me. Anyway, what have you been watching this week?
This is the only film I've watched this week.
Oh, poor show. Oh, I suppose you've been on holiday.
I've been on holiday.
Again.
I've been working on our shed to try expedite our move out of the pube.
Excellent.
So
I might miss the pube though.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a lot closer to my house than yours.
Thing is we're getting into the warm weather now, and we've already remarked how warm it is in here today.
Yeah.
Maybe we will change our opinion on the pube in the coming weeks, and we won't be able to get out of here fast enough.
That's it. So I have watched some films that you will be interested in.
Oh, go on.
I'll start with the one you won't be interested in. Mean Girls.
No.
The remake, the most recent Mean Girls.
Just talk to my wife; she likes that.
Yeah, well, I didn't mind it. I thought it was all right.
It seems up
Pretty
your
good.
street.
Yeah. I didn't realise it was a musical when I started watching it. So that was a nice surprise.
A nice surprise?
I don't mind a musical. Well, I kind of thought it was just a remake, or just a remake unnecessarily quickly after the original, right? So the fact it was a musical actually offered something a little bit different. Not been well received, but I kind of thought it was okay. It's fine. It's fine. I also did Jurassic Park 3 to finish the education of Jurassic Park before we inevitably have to move on to Jurassic World.
No, well, now come on, Jurassic World is decent.
Oh, the first one.
The weirdest of the 6, the one most out of step with the story arc,
is Jurassic Park 3.
3, yeah.
Very short as well.
It's like they completely abandoned the thread from the first 2, which, in defence of Jurassic World 3, at least they followed through, even though they absolutely shat the bed with it.
Yeah, it wasn't the best. But, it was watchable enough. It's good to see Alan Grant again,
Yeah, that's right. Because he's not in the second one, is he?
No. You stuck with the old, what's his face? I can't remember his name. Tall guy.
Jeff
Dr.
Goldblum
Malcolm.
in the first one, yeah. In the second one, sorry.
Jeff Goldblum. There we go.
Yeah.
Couldn't think of his name. So there's that.
That's one of those films that I will never put on. Like, I fancy watching Jurassic World 3. But if I've watched
Jurassic Park 3.
Sorry. Yeah, Jurassic Park 3. But if I've watched Jurassic Park, there's a good chance I'll
just watch the trilogy.
I'll follow through the trilogy,
Yeah. So
I'm glad it exists, put it that way.
Yeah, it was fine. And what's his face? I should have written some of this down so I could actually think. The male actor who's pretending his son goes missing. What's the actor's
William
name?
H. Macy.
Yeah, William H. Macy. I think he's pretty good at it as well.
Yeah.
I like William H. Macy.
Yeah.
He's generally pretty watchable.
So, what's her name as well in it? Is it Tia Leone?
Sure.
Good, right.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I've researched the movie for the podcast. I didn't really research Jurassic Park 3, but I can't remember. It was about a week ago.
Next time you watch a film,
yeah.
treat yourself, watch another 2 minutes and read the credits.
And remember, now it's just the work is piling up.
Yeah.
Okay, the last film I watched this week is one that you recommended to me.
Oh, this could go either way.
So, After Sun.
Oh, yes.
Which I finally found after searching for sunscreen. sun cream.
Yeah.
And then going, oh, for fuck's sake, I'm gonna have to
Shea butter, was that it?
I'm
No,
gonna have
that's
to
not
look.
it.
I'm gonna have to look at the message. It's like I was close. I was just a bit premature as usual.
Well, I'm now not worried about this because there's no way you didn't think it was good.
Right. So I've got just before I get to whether I think it was good.
Sake.
Just before we get to that, I'm just going to pick up on your Letterboxd review, and I just want to understand it.
Okay, go on.
Okay. So you start it with after a minute or two, I knew this film had 5 stars,
Yes.
and it was up to it to lose them.
Yes.
Explain.
You know how I feel about funky sound design,
Right.
right? And straight away, this film had that quality, which is like, this isn't normal. This is like a bit different. It's like, it's going very much for a mood here. It looks sort of that way as well. The dialogue between the characters is very, very natural.
Mm-hmm. I would agree.
And so straight away, I was like, yeah, this is a mood, this film. This has to now be bad. It's put me in the right frame of mind. I'm going to really enjoy it. This now has to be bad to turn me off.
But 5 stars straight. I mean, that's
Well, I think,
an interesting way to
be
go
fair,
about it.
and you could
give
argue-
something 5 stars, and then it's up to lose. Is that a genuine? Should that be how you treat every film?
Well, I don't. Maybe I don't know. You could take that either way, couldn't you? But, yeah.
It's not how you treat every film.
Probably not. No, but
Be an interesting way to do it, wouldn't it? Just a tally chart. As
Yes. No, I'm taking the mark off for that one. Oh no, it's redeemed itself. We can have that mark. No. So yeah, that instantly, I just got a vibe off that film. I thought, yeah, this is going to be right up my alley. What did you think then?
So,
Oh dear,
no, it's pretty wanky, but
pretty wanky.
yeah, not to say I didn't really enjoy it. So I did enjoy it, but I did think that the main reason I want to talk about this film is to attack you.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I do worry that you might be turning into one of those pretentious film wankers that we set out from the beginning to definitely not be.
Okay.
Just with the type of movies that you're going that you do really like, and
I feel
ones you're
like
attacking that you're not. I'm just
in a film that is
saying.
about a father-daughter relationship.
Yeah.
And has that is absolutely cool. I feel like that's a really weird criticism from somebody who adored About Time, in spite of that all of that's obvious flaws.
Yeah, that's not wanky though.
No, it's a lot of other things. But
Yeah, no, I did like After Sun. It was very well acted. The child girl,
Yeah, she's good, isn't she?
very good.
Yeah, she's
and
good.
Because usually, I mean, children are
They can be hit
just
and miss, can't they?
irritating, aren't they? Let's face it. Generally in life,
actors
and
or
actresses,
right?
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But she was great. I thought there was just it was intentionally a little bit artsy, wasn't it? Like the way it's been done, it's a little bit artsy.
I don't know what you mean exactly there.
They're intentionally being a little bit left field, a little bit
well,
unusual,
I think
not really following a normal style of filmmaking intentionally.
Okay, so I mean, I agree that it's very deliberate,
Yeah.
but in the same way that Before Sunrise
Yeah.
is very
Love that
deliberate.
film.
Yeah, but is that wanky? I wouldn't have said that was wanky.
I don't know, maybe.
Again, the words I would use are sort of natural,
Yeah, sure. Anyway, I did like it. So we were not going to talk about it much more on this
No,
podcast,
that's a shame, isn't
unfortunately.
Although also good.
Would that be tiresome for you?
Well, listen, just for those little tiny digs, I've had about enough I can take of that. Thank you very much. So,
But anyway, thank you for the recommendation. It was well worth the watch. Okay, so do we have any apologies or anything like that?
no, I think I might have written one down.
Corrections?
No apologies or
No?
corrections this week. No.
Excellent. Well, that's good. So
I mean, that we're aware of. I mean, there'll be something.
yeah, probably
Yeah.
down the line, right? So just to let you know, Carl, because I know you like me to tease what's coming up.
Oh, I do like a tease.
So as well as our usual top 3 selections,
Mm-hmm.
I do have a game for you.
I do
later
like a
on. Do you want
game.
to know what I've called the game?
Yes, go on.
It's called Tag Lies.
Tag lies.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So listen in for that. I'll slip that in at the
Ooh,
opportune
I
moment.
bet you will. You do.
Anyway, enough of that. Let's get some proper lubricant in here with a beer.
Now have I got a treat for you?
Have I got a guess for this one? Oh, that's a good point. Have I got a guess?
I'd be surprised if you guess.
Is it not really there?
Right, so I've got 2 beers.
If it's not really beer again, I'm not going to be happy.
I've got 2 beers because the second beer, which we'll talk about afterwards, I can't see and not buy. Right.
I think that's called compulsion.
You'll understand.
Okay.
So the first beer, the film beer, the pod beer, straight down the line from a brewery called Seven Brothers. Have you ever had anything by them? A Manchester brewery, I believe. Manchester.
This rings a bell. Yeah, rings a bell.
And the beer I've got is called Mango Crazy.
Mango Crazy.
Mango Crazy.
Oh, that's good. It's good. Right. Well, I don't think I have had Seven Brothers, you know.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Lovely. Manchester.
Which I assume is some mango pale ale.
Yes.
So
I just read that.
I've never had that before, so looking forward to that. And then for after that,
for dessert,
yes,
after the mango,
I can't see this and not buy it.
Okay,
I've got us a can of Stone IPA, proper, the US version, 6.9.
Where'd you see that?
Asda 19.2 fluid. I saw that
How
fluid ounce and
fluid
thought,
ounce
my word, it's the US one.
Go to my face.
So only want to share. I'm not made of money.
Okay.
£4 a tin for fuck's sake.
Oh, yeah. Good stuff. That's a few coffees.
But yeah, pop that aside. We'll have that one afterwards. And for now, we'll have the very on theme Mango Crazy.
Oh, lovely.
Smells like mangoes.
Good start.
I like mangoes. You fan of the mango?
Yeah.
Lovely texture, a mango. Consistent. Smells like beer.
Mango going on there.
Oh, yes, but do you know what? It's not too sweet and overpowering.
Oh, no, that's nice.
Yeah.
Especially on a day where it's been pretty sunny.
Yeah, it's been pretty sunny.
That's lovely. Good choice. All right, well, let's get on to the movie this week, which is A Beautiful Mind by Ron Howard. And before we dig straight into what we think of it, just a reminder of our rating system. So a simple 5-point scale. We either really don't like it, ambivalent, like it, or really like it. And Carl, where are you on that scale this week?
I like this film. I'm just going to tease you again as well.
Oh.
Remember last week I said there might be a movie, The Needle in the Air?
Smooth, yeah.
Yeah.
You think there might be for who?
It could be for me, but not that way. I think if I enjoy talking about this as much as I think, by the end of it, you could have your work really cut out.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, so I like this film.
Okay. Well, I don't like this film. And so that is a 2 degrees of disagreement, as I'm contractually obliged to say now, even though it's not a word. But never mind. It's fine. So what do you like about this film, Carl? You lead off.
Right. I'm going to keep this actually short.
No.
This film made me feel. And we will discuss its problems because, there are some problems with it. But it made me feel. So I really enjoyed it.
Oh. I'm sorry, have you finished?
Yep.
What the fuck? I don't know what to do. I speak now. Oh,
yeah, it's your go now.
Usually I've got time to drink half a pint.
I can chuck you some more in if you want.
No, you're fine. Stop talking. Don't ruin it. So I will say, you said you have the option of going up here potentially, depending on how you like it. So I will say that I am just touching ambivalence on the scale here, but
we've got quivers all over the shop here.
For the sake of the exercise, I'm comfortable being in the I don't like, because as you say, there are some problems. So
we've got like a floating 2 degrees here.
Yeah, it just moves.
This is crazy. Yeah, we could end up with 1. We could end up with none.
Oh,
we could end up with 3.
Oh, tune in to find out where it goes.
No, could we end up with 4? We could end up with 4. We could go anywhere.
Well, I guess that's any week. It could potentially do that. I mean, it'd
be
a bit
unlikely some
unlikely.
weeks, mate. Jesus Christ.
So anyway, my main little summary of this. So it's very Oscar baity. It's based on a true story. Well, the bits they wanted to tell. Spans a long period of time. It's pretty melodramatic, schmaltzy score, and of course a disability. It is at times very ordinary and predictable. The rug gets pulled at one point. Does change into a bit of a different film. But for me, and this is, I don't know if this is where we're going to disagree the most, where the relationship, the central relationship, love story part of it, if you want to call it that, is where I didn't really buy it, which meant that the feel that you got, I struggled to get that from any of the major characters. It didn't manage to milk that out of me. It is, however, not without its strengths, which I will enjoy discussing with you.
Are you still going? Fucking hell.
I know, right? Okay, so let's kick things off with the cast. And leading off...
Ooh, a cast this week.
We're a cast this week, yeah. I thought I'd like to mix it up. And leading off with Russell Crowe.
Sidebar. A Russell Crowe sidebar.
Oh, go on.
I have got a sort of a suggestion for you. Let's see how you feel about this.
Okay.
I think Russell Crowe's quest to be a proper actor might have denied us a true movie star.
Go on.
So we know that he's done Gladiator.
Yes.
He followed that up not long after this film, and I think this was the year after Gladiator.
Yep.
With Master and Commander.
And before that, The Insider. So 3 Oscar nominations.
Yes, but The Insider's a much straighter role, right?
Mm.
So before that, you had him playing the thug in LA Confidential.
Yep.
Great film.
Love it.
Yeah,
it's on the list.
Film. And yeah, I feel like if you think of those LA Confidential and the Gladiator, Master and Commander roles, because he has got, you put him in front of a camera, he's got some real gravitas.
Yeah.
Has his film choices, because, he has picked a lot of, from an early stage, a lot of sort of more straight roles, for want of a better, more actorial roles.
Yeah.
Do we think that might have sold him short of a much longer career at the top of the box office, perhaps?
Maybe that and him getting incredibly fat.
Well, they tend to go hand in hand, don't they? Because when people end up getting those big roles still, they tend to stay in shape more.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. I don't know. I think possibly his choice, though, right? Yeah. But as you say,
I think definitely his choice. Yeah. I think definitely his choice, because, like you mentioned, The Insider, that's a much straighter role, and that's before, between LA Confidential and Gladiator, actually.
Yes. Yeah.
So, anyway, Russell Crowe.
He's 60, by the way. 60.
He doesn't look bad for 60.
I've reached that age where I've become shocked by people's ages already. I'm just like, he's 60.
I think he's doing all right for 60.
He is doing all right. Yeah, very young in this. Look at the start, particularly.
Well, it's interesting you say that. I have a production point where I thought maybe he didn't quite look young enough for the age he's supposed to play. But okay, let's come back to that.
No, it definitely doesn't look college age. Yeah. No.
Okay, so I will say, and we will talk about this in production and plot, about the Hollywood Oscar baity side of it. I will say I was a bit worried about watching this for the opening few minutes, because his acting at the start, when he's doing all the sort of the tics, and it was a bit cringy. It's not great. When the film settles into Nash being a bit of an arrogant prick, I thought it was really good. And then when the paranoia sets in, I think he sort of flips between the two. I think he has some really good scenes, and he's not the top of his game in some of the others. But overall, I thought he did a decent job.
Yeah, I mean, I actually think he's pretty good in this. I mean, he does overly rely maybe on those physical tics, as you say, to start with, and he is doing a bit of a Ricky Gervais and Derek face at some of the time as well. But I think, again, that's an intentional choice to make him look less
How much
handsome.
of this is that? Well, and how much of it is that Oscar baity from Howard going, we've got to be right on the nose here because this has got to have broad appeal. And
but when he's acting, like properly acting, like when he's getting the paranoia, when he's doing his scared and confused of what's going on, like utterly convincing for me. And, even when he's doing the sort of the dead eyes, the staring.
I mean, I'll show my hand. I'm talking about this film made me feel this for two reasons. And I'm not entirely going to disagree on you about the relationship point. I'm coming at it from a slightly different place. But the two reasons this film really made me feel, actually, one of them was Crowe and a lot of what he brings in some moments. And the other thing is the way the film tells the story and moves things along at the right time and all the rest of it. So we'll get into that. But I do think he is. He was a big part of why I sort of connected with the film.
So we talked about his quest for an Oscar, which he obviously won for. Did he win for Gladiator?
Yeah,
he did,
must
didn't
have
he?
won for Gladiator.
So nominated 3 years running, The Insider, Gladiator, and this. Not nominated since.
Do you know why?
Because he didn't act well enough.
No.
But the Oscars reward the best actors.
I thought we spoke about this before. So he was hotly tipped to win.
Well, he won all of the precursor awards, so BAFTAs, Golden Globes.
Now, what happened was at the BAFTAs or the Globes, I forget which one it was, he got into an altercation.
Oh, we have talked about this.
Yeah, with somebody at the production because they cut his speech or whatever, or told him to move along. Got arrested because he, gave him a bit of a roughing up or whatever. And then that was it. Then the Academy just went, "Oh God, no, we can't be having that," and they've just shunned him ever since.
We'll see if Will Smith gets another.
Just the same thing is that people sort of say, "Well, that's him done. he's never getting an invite back."
Yeah. Well, there you go.
So, but we've said before, awards fucking mugs game.
Indeed,
especially
when you don't win, bastards. Jennifer Connelly. A second pod appearance for Jennifer Connelly after Blood Diamond.
I'm mixed on her. I think her character's a little underwritten, which doesn't help her. She does definitely take a while to get going. Again, I probably lay the blame with the film rather than her. But when she does have a couple of good scenes, I think she's quite good. But I think it's difficult for her to really shine in this film, to be honest.
I did think as I was watching this, maybe I just don't like her as an actress, as how she performs, having seen her in Blood Diamond and not exactly been wowed.
No,
but then
she was wrongly cast for that as well, though, wasn't she?
Yeah. But then, after doing a little bit more digging into her filmography, I think maybe it's just Blood Diamond in this that is shaping my opinion, because she was pretty good in Requiem for a Dream.
Not seen it.
You should watch it. Very wanky, you'd love it.
Who's the wanky one? Sorry?
But she did win the Oscar for this.
Yeah.
She beat out. Okay, listen to this. Right, she beat out Helen Mirren for Gosford Park. Not seen it.
No, me neither.
Kate Winslet for Iris. Not seen it.
No.
Maggie Smith for Gosford Park.
Still
not seen it.
Yeah.
And Marissa Tomei for In the Bedroom. Not seen it either.
No, not seen it. No.
So rightful winner based on that. The only one I've seen.
Well, I've got nothing else to go on.
The best actress. Yeah. I've not seen any of them. I hadn't even heard of it In the Bedroom. I don't know. That must have snuck by me. That was like dominated the nominations for that year. But I looked at a trailer. I was like,
really? No.
It's making me want to watch it. But...
I think, and we'll segue into Bettany here.
I'm not quite done on Connelly yet.
Well, okay, but I'm willing to give her the benefit of the doubt because the difference between her character and Bettany is allowed to. His character basically swans in, and he's allowed to be instantly captivating. And Connelly's character's Connelly's character's got no room to work really to express herself. So I'm willing to give her a pass. But yeah,
she was struggling with that El Salvador accent of her character, obviously.
Well, you've been reading up about the true story, have you?
Well, just that, she was the 8th white actor to win an Academy Award for playing a non-white character.
Yeah. Hollywood whitewashing again, etc., etc., etc.
However, when we get to the recasting, then maybe I don't exactly cover myself in glory with that one. So,
yeah.
Hey ho.
It's a bit like the Humongous all over again.
Yeah. Have you got anything else on Bettany?
Well, I think he's kind of always excellent, isn't he? Except Wimbledon.
He's very British in this.
He is, but like believably so. Like I look at him and I just think effortless.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's always a good hallmark of an actor, right?
Yeah, I thought when he the first scene he was in, I was like, oh God, you're going to be irritating, aren't you?
Yeah.
And he wasn't actually. He very much wasn't irritating.
He's the levity.
He was a bit of levity there.
He is at the start.
Yeah.
Moving on, fucking demon.
Moving on to Ed Harris.
Oh
man, he is wearing that hat, isn't he?
Oh, Harris is Harris. Enough said. That's what I put.
Solid, like an Ed Harris. We do like an Ed Harris on this.
I love an Ed Harris. Yeah, love an Ed Harris.
And he's very Ed Harris.
Yeah.
No one could Ed Harris better than Ed Harris, and he does wear a hat very nicely. Is he in the Adjustment Bureau? I feel like he should have been.
No, John Slattery is in the Adjustment Bureau.
Maybe he could have been.
I mean, John Slattery wears a hat as well.
He does wear a hat, that's true, and a tash.
Yes, does wear a tash. He does wear a tash. Not in the Adjustment Bureau, but he does wear a tash.
No. I haven't really got much to say about him apart from I like him. And he was
this was probably the role where I first
noticed him. Not Apollo 13.
I want to say maybe not noticed, but was the one where I thought, I know he's got something. He's quite good, this guy, because he pops up in a lot. Yeah, right. He pops up a lot playing like he's played a lot of soldiers in his time, so I've seen him in like some action movies and that, playing that sort of character. Like you think about The Rock, things like that. But this was the one where I just think, oh yeah, no, this guy is really good at this, isn't he? This sort of like authoritative, sort of like menacing figure.
Yeah, very good, excellent. More Ed Harris, please.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got anyone else that you wanted to call out?
Josh Lucas, is it?
Josh. Oh, the guy who was his rival.
Name.
The guy was his rival, and then for about 12 seconds, and then they made up.
Yeah, I think he's only got a small part, but it's one that I remembered from watching this the first time, and he resonated with me again. I think he's got a real warmth to him when he acts, and it's always because I think he's also quite a sort of good-looking sort of bloke, quite a charismatic sort of bloke, and it's surprising me a little bit that he hasn't had a better career.
He's done some rom-commy things, hasn't he?
And that's it. If you get involved with those, it's like, no, that's you now, I'm afraid.
Unless you're McConaughey and you can...
Yeah, he's managed to break out of that, hasn't he?
But yeah, it's a slippery slope when you go down the multiple rom-coms. You can do one.
Because he does that again here. Like, he's got that sass about him, you know. They are ostensibly rivals.
Yeah, it's kind of quite unlikable. Does the unlikable bit quite quickly.
But there's always like that little bit of cheeky warmth there in the background, and obviously he comes full circle with Nash. I like him. I think he's decent.
You got any recasting for me?
Well, I've got one more I think is worthy of calling out, which is Plumber.
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Rosen.
Yeah. Plays the
I mean, if you talk about like Ed Harris menacing, Plummer's got that as well. And I think it's a really superb casting choice as well for that role, because he still gives you that hint of suspicion. As like, is he? Is this the guy? Is this the bad guy? Is this the good guy?
Is he Russian?
Yeah, and can do a voiceover as well.
Can do a voiceover.
Well, there's a bit where he's talking to Nash's wife
about,
and it's over the top of his therapy,
right?
And it's
like imagine if you were told that
like they didn't,
everything you believed in is
exactly and he's just got a great voice for it. So I thought it was really good.
He's not in it a lot, but you know you're going to put him in it, and you're going to go all right straight in there.
Yeah.
Watchable from the start.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, like a plumber. Okay, so we'll move on to some recasting now. Judging by the noises Carl has been making while I had to pause for 5 minutes while he frantically figured out what his recasting was because he forgot, I think he's quite pleased with himself. So let's see how this goes. Over to you, Carl. Which one made you go, oh, yes?
I'm going to cut all of that out.
Oh, you bastard.
All right, so who would you like to start with?
Well, start with the lead, right?
Start with the lead. Okay. Colin Firth.
Wait, Colin Firth?
Yeah. I'm thinking of the very fragile
he's good
Colin
in Oscar
Firth.
Beatty junk like this.
No, play nice. I'm thinking of the very, very fragile Colin Firth. You know, he's got no problem delivering books smart as well and all the rest of it.
A bit British. I'm not sure he could pull off the accent.
Well, that would be
a struggle. I mean, Crowe struggles at times.
Yeah, that would be a potential stumbling block. But again, thinking about the bits of Crowe's portrayal that hit me the most, I can see Colin Firth's sad little face staring back at me as he looks around, lost,
drooling.
He wouldn't need to. He's a better actor than Crowe. He wouldn't need to drool.
I mean, maybe. I'll give you a maybe. Go on. What's the next one?
Okay. Right. Who do you want next?
Still Nash? Have we got more for Nash?
No. We just got one
okay.
today.
So for Nash, so list of actors who were considered for this.
Oh, go on.
It's a long list. It's a ridiculous list.
Hollywood production, isn't it?
So here we
batted around all and sundry.
Just give me your one-word response to these actors if they were in this role, okay?
Right.
Bruce Willis.
Shite.
Kevin Costner.
Shite.
John Travolta.
Shite.
Tom Cruise.
No. Sorry, Tom.
John Cusack.
Better.
But I don't... I still can't see it. Charlie Sheen.
Shite.
Robert Downey Jr.
I
I thought that was the best one of this list. To be
Not
fair.
then.
Nicolas Cage. Can you imagine Cage doing full
God.
Cage version of Nash?
Yeah.
I actually might pay to see that. That would actually be pretty funny. Johnny Depp.
I mean, you could just
Possibly.
watch any other Nicolas Cage film because he does the same thing.
Johnny
Depp.
He might be able to do it.
Maybe.
He's a bit too attractive. That's the only problem.
He's a different kind of weird, Johnny Depp.
Ray Fiennes.
Sure, we can see that.
Yep. Jared Leto.
No, again, different kind of weird.
Yeah. Yes, he's definitely a different kind of weird.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt.
No. Not a good enough actor.
Alec Baldwin.
No.
Mel Gibson.
Oh, no.
Again, might pay to see that.
Yeah.
Sean Penn.
Yeah,
Possibly.
Yeah,
I thought Sean Penn was actually a good shout.
Yeah.
He could definitely have done it.
Yeah.
Guy Pearce.
Yeah. Good actor.
He's a good actor. Just can't really see him in this thing. Matthew Broderick.
No.
Gary Oldman.
Yeah.
And here we go. You ready for this one?
Go on.
Keanu Reeves.
No. No.
Now, how much of that list is actually true and how much is just someone just naming actors?
It's just
on the
agent. It's
trivia
just
thing?
Hollywood machines, agent bollocks, that, isn't it? Most of that.
Yeah. Okay, so what about Alicia then?
Emily Blunt.
Cool, of course. So after praising Eastwood last week for hiring the authentic Hmong actors...
Have you found an El Salvadorian?
Hell no.
No.
No, I'm just saying.
You're staying away from that?
No. I'm just saying, like, I'm criticising him, but then also going, actually, that's pretty hard to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
The only person I could come up with would be remotely kind of ish.
Yeah.
Penelope Cruz, but probably not. She's just Spanish.
Yeah.
I mean...
Well, yeah.
So, fair enough. That's probably why he didn't bother.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Who have you got next?
So, bit of a callback. Ed Harris.
What, you recasting Ed Harris as Ed Harris, or...?
No.
Oh,
I'm recasting Ed Harris as Robert Duvall. If you remember back to our Apocalypse Now.
You're just swapping them.
Yeah. As I said
apart.
at the time, there was a right answer for recasting Kilgore when you realise there's an actor who's based his entire persona on Kilgore. So, therefore, it follows Robert Duvall could do a fine job.
There you go. And who's your other one? What was the other one you just pulled out your ass?
Well, I got two. So, Plumber,
Mm-hmm.
Charles Dance. Charles Dance has again
Similar
got that authoritative, menacing sort of...
Yeah. Never quite
presence.
sure if you should trust him. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But the one I am most satisfied with is Charles, Paul Bettany,
Yep.
Jude Law.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You could have a Jude Law there.
Oh,
definitely.
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Jude
yeah,
Law's a
definitely.
fantastic
That's a good
actor
one.
anyway, but what fun he would be is that.
Good shout.
Yeah.
Good shout. Probably about the right age as well. Probably
Mhm.
about the right time.
Yeah, they can't be too far apart, can they?
Nice work. Nice work. Let's move on to production. So, do you want to play the game now, or do you want to save it for a little bit after a little bit of talk of production? What do you fancy?
No, let's leave the game.
You want to
Yeah,
save it
let's
just for a
leave
little
the
bit? Okay, we're going to do it at the end of production. Okay.
Okay. Oh, the end of production.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Because it doesn't really fit with plot. It fits
Okay.
more with production.
Okay.
So we'll do it there. Okay. So production.
All right, let's talk big ticket. Right. Let's
Okay.
get it out of the way.
All right.
This could not be more. The production on this could not be more Hollywood. It is so unrelentingly late 90s, early 90s Hollywood.
Do you want to explain?
Well, I mean, like you said schmaltzy soundtrack. That's one way of putting it, right?
Not all the time, to be fair. So, like, I thought the bit when they were at Princeton to start with.
Yeah.
I thought I actually quite liked the score. at that part. I thought it fitted quite well. It was the sort of the second half that I thought it went a bit.
All right, so you were calling me wanky for After Sun. Like every choice they make in After Sun, the weird sound design, the closeness, the relaxed dialogue. This is all the complete opposite here, right? We're going big shots. We're trying to get Princeton in because Princeton is as much as a character as anybody else. All the rest of it. We are. Even though the sort of film it is, we still got to have some set pieces. So you've got that cool shot where nobody picks the blonde bit. His head is spinning in the Pentagon, so we're going to have the camera spinning. Like, it is completely popcorn stuff in your face Hollywood.
Fair.
Is that good or bad?
So, I don't think it's necessarily one or the other, right?
Yeah, right. It's not inherently bad, is it?
It's not inherently bad. I did have something on that side of things. So, yeah, when he are... the flying number, basically, the flying numbers. He's doing math, guys.
Yeah,
Look at him.
Yeah.
Like numbers flying past him, lighting up and stuff like that. I can see they were probably quite pleased with themselves with that. They're like, oh, look, we're saying the Enlightenment as he's picking out the key. But it wasn't just a bit like, can you not just have him like, I don't know, acting at this part without...
So one of the criticisms of this is that we don't really learn much about Nash and his real-life achievements. And because the film's not concerned with showing us anything really about maths, like you've just said, it's more batting us around the head with, guys, it's maths. Right, because that's how they make
Yeah,
the
it
film.
just seems a bit of a cheat, doesn't it? Like, you could have, I don't know, there must be a smarter way to do it. Well, they've gone for a little bit of the dumb route, I guess.
Yeah, look, let's be fair. Like you said, it's not inherently bad. It's dumb, haha, very funny, and we have said that about other films, and I've said that about films, and I will say that more about films as well. But broad isn't necessarily dumb, though, right? They're going for broad. They're going for like, this isn't really, the maths isn't really important here. That's not the story we're trying to tell. But instead, we're just going to get across to you that he's doing maths without boring you with the details. And we think this is quite a cool visual effect to show why. Now, actually, I don't really like
where he doesn't go into the details.
I don't really like the numbers bit, I have to say.
Okay, cool.
But
I'd be a hypocrite then. That's lucky. You carefully avoided that one. Well done.
Well, I think this is telling a different story that has some substance, but we can get onto that. But I did like the set piece with the no one picked the blonde. That reminded me a lot of that casino scene we were talking about, with the cheating,
showing how it works, kind of thing. Yeah.
And I think that's really good filmmaking because in a film like this, with what it's about, how do you get a set piece into it? Because it's not an action film, and all that. I know there's a bit of an espionage.
Bed out the window.
Yes, that's true. Yeah,
desk, not bed.
I thought that was a really smart shot. It looked great, I thought there was yes, it's broad and it's Hollywood, but I thought there was a lot to like about it. I thought they did quite a good job for most of it.
What would you generally say about how it was shot, how it looked?
Well, I mean, it is ostensibly a period piece, but they shied away from using making it really dreary as films sometimes do.
They've kind of gone the other way. I think they kind of made it a bit almost like hazy.
You can't win with this, right? Because I saw something recently, I think it was a TikTok actually, some movie account, was saying how fed up they are of seeing, whenever you see a sort of a medieval period piece, they're fed up of seeing grey.
Right.
Like, there were plenty of colours back then, guys, but they're fed up of seeing grey because that's the way you immediately tell everyone that you...
Yeah.
So
we're in the past.
You sort of can't win with that because, like you say, they did go the other way. It was quite big and loud for a lot of it, but then...
I thought generally it looked all right. So it's Roger Deakins? Wait, is that right? Deakins, anyway.
He did a lot of work on the Bond films, I think.
He did, yeah. He did. We've talked about him previously on the
Good set designer, yeah.
Don't know that's the same thing, but okay, he's a director of photography regardless. Shoots the thing. So yeah, a bit. There were moments where it was a bit like hazy and tinted, and I don't know, didn't really fit maybe what it needed to. But generally, I thought it looked good. Like the scene that you said with the blonde,
I thought it was really smart
sort of doing the game theory kind of thing.
Yeah,
quite nice that.
Well, and that's indicative of the approach this film takes, right? It's not really going to go into game theory. Instead, it's
kind of wish it did a little bit.
I know, and there's a really good film there if somebody wants to make that film, but that's not what this film is. This film is going, well, instead I'm going to tell you that in this medium of a really cool thing about how they're all trying to get laid, which also has a bit of levity to it as well. So,
did you see that it was shot pretty much in sequence ordering, chronologically, pretty much to allow him to develop a progressive.
That's good. I like that.
Manner. It's quite rare. It must be quite complicated to actually do that because obviously with the change of locations and sets and stuff. So I don't know whether it's more just they did all of the early stuff first, then they did the middle stuff, then they did the end stuff.
It makes sense, doesn't it? Because like you say, it's like instead of asking the actors to constantly flip between these things.
This is where you are now, guys.
We can actually just afford to have you go on this journey. I can remove a factor of difficulty for you there. So I like it. Oliver Stone did that with Platoon.
Oh, did he?
So
that makes sense again. For that sort of
as
thing,
people died, they then left set. So there's a good documentary.
You have been eliminated.
Yeah, Johnny Depp was saying like we felt them because it was harsh filming conditions. Yeah. And he said it really fed into, we felt that loss because we'd come through this really tough time together and then people were leaving and we were dwindling. And I like that. It's a good mechanism.
Another thing I read, I didn't notice this, but I think it's quite clever, if it's indeed true, that Howard decided that Nash's hallucinations should always be introduced first audibly and then visually. So I thought, nice thinking through of that, particularly as Nash has said that his hallucinations were only audible, auditory. Could only hear him, didn't see him, but not as cinematic. If you just have a voice and it wouldn't really have served the twist or the rug pull or whatever you want to call it.
There's plenty of clues throughout, and I'm jumping ahead to the plot here, but I've got to say, I 100% did not see the twist coming.
Right, so I rewatched this film, right? So I've seen this before. Still didn't see it coming because it's so long ago.
I'm so glad you said that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so glad you said that because I watched this with a friend and we watched it and the clues start coming in and we just talking. I was saying, I've no idea how I did not see this twist coming. And I'm glad you've said that because I did also read some of the reviews of this and it's a pretty common thing that most people don't see the twist coming from the reviews I've read. And given how many breadcrumbs they leave, fair play to it. I think that's it can consider it a success because rewatching it I was like, oh yeah, of course, a bit like Shutter Island. If you rewatch Shutter Island you go, how did I not see this?
And obviously we'll talk about this with the rewatchability.
And I didn't see it in Shutter Island either, so I did wonder, was I just an idiot or is it actually decent filmmaking?
I wish I could help you there, Carl, but
you are also an idiot.
I can't really help you either way there.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Did you on the rewatch for this? I'm guessing you'd watched it recently enough and familiar with it enough that you did see it coming.
No,
really.
So I've seen this once before. I saw it around when it came out, a couple of years after, maybe.
Oh, okay.
So I remembered the twist. I certainly remembered.
You did remember the twist?
I did remember the twist,
Oh, right, okay.
But I certainly remembered it more as an espionage sort of film, rather than one that's more about his illness and relationships. Although the constant between the two viewings and memories was the sort of the sadness hitting home. But no, I did remember the twist.
And we are dangerously close to overlapping with the plot. Who cares? Yeah. So there is an argument. It's not one that I hold. But I thought it'd be interesting to see where you stood with it. That the twist is manipulatively exploiting schizophrenia as a plot device.
I've read this.
Yes.
Well, look.
Not something I already thought of or occurred to me.
I didn't think of it either. And I read a couple of things, people saying, not just talking about schizophrenia, but also disabled people in general. about how Hollywood portrays them. It's a shame they get used and battered around the way they do. And what I will say, completely fair enough. I think that things like that are serious, deserve to be treated with respect. But what my take on it, without having thought about it loads, is I thought, and like I said, this film made me feel. I thought this film did a really good job of showing how difficult it can be to deal with and live with something like that. Nash, by all accounts, is not a very nice person and has said some
he's an arsehole, yeah.
horrible things. And whilst the film doesn't strive to put him in a good light, like they don't really get into his achievements. I mean, it's there in the narrative, but
they also don't go into some of his other darker.
They don't. Yeah, they don't touch on that. But they don't go out of their way to make him like good. I don't think they don't do that. But I also thought they did a brilliant job of making me feel for him and that's like I don't care who you are. That is a horrible thing to deal with. So for me, there was some sensitivity there. I can't really speak to that because it's not something I have to deal with.
Indeed. I would like to give some extra points for moments of levity in this.
You love your levity.
I do like a bit of levity mixed in with the serious, with the gravity.
Mm-hmm.
So a few funny moments that I thought were actually quite nice touches. So the garbage man,
yes,
puts out the garbage, like the garbage men don't come at night, and he was just like, I guess they do here.
Yeah, I guess they do.
I was just like, that was quite nice. It's quite a good little nod.
There's the other one as well, isn't there? Where here's have you met my friend?
Friends, yeah, it's a soul, yeah.
What's the point in being nuts if you can't have a little fun with it?
Yeah. And at the end, when he's old and he comes out of it, he asks the student, "Can you see him?"
Yes. Now that I know you're real, how can I be of service to you?
Yeah, so I thought like,
yeah.
A few moments you just like, okay, well that was all right.
On the aging thing.
The aging thing.
Yeah.
I suppose that counts as production.
Well, I thought the aging effects were really good. Do you not?
No. So, well, I will say up to a point, I think they were really good. I think they fell apart a little bit right at the end. So
when he was very old.
When he was very old, and when she was very old, and actually unrecognisable.
She wasn't recognisable.
They were just like,
yeah, she was.
I mean, I'm pretty sure people will still look a little bit like the person they're meant to be to a degree. So that was the only part where I was like, oh,
okay,
seems to have gone a little bit far. The general progression from when he was young to not quite as young, I thought was all right. I thought it was fine. I thought it was quite subtle, but
the reason I ask is because I was watching this and I remember the twist, but I didn't remember a lot of the story points. I didn't remember how much it went through all of his life and all that sort of thing. I was kind of wondering, I was thinking, for all the things that sort of Hollywood gets wrong these days, if somebody is supposed to be 21 years old, these days I feel like they would either get someone who is 21 years old or...
They'd de-age, wouldn't they?
They would do a better job of making them
They'd CG
look.
Him.
And maybe that's CG, maybe that's because everybody just looks a bit younger these days. I don't know. And Russell Crowe's got that whiff of a man who's looked 30 since he turned 18, right? But then I sort of realised that, well, it goes all the way through. So then what do? Do you cast someone younger and then change the actor for the younger years and move through for the older years, or vice versa, however you want to do it? And I wasn't really sure what would be best, really. I don't know how I sort of feel about it. Another option is just to go, which I think is the one I settled on with the film, is go, well, you're just taking it with a pinch of, it's a film, mate. Like, we're just following... We're just following this guy's life.
I think largely you go,
don't get hung up on that.
Who can do the character?
Yeah.
And also, what age are they spending most of the film at?
Yeah.
And let's go for someone that's around that age that could maybe do both ways. So you don't want to be picking a 70-year-old man because he's 70 at the end for all of the Princeton scenes and stuff. Wouldn't necessarily work. And you don't want a really young guy that you're overly aging throughout the whole thing as well. But yeah, so it's a tricky one. I think
that makes sense though.
You have to reach a point where it's just like, look, you're showing 40 years span in the space of 2 hours. Like, it's not going to be.
Yeah, you'd be an arsehole to pick fault in this because of this sort of thing.
Yeah, like you could say that could maybe have been done better, which I think the really old aging could potentially have been done a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe if it was made now, it's advanced enough where it would have been done better.
Yeah.
But it wasn't massively distracting. It was just a little bit like, just room for improvement there. The only other thing I would change is just, as I say, the less manipulative score in places after the sort of first hour. Just make it a little bit more subtle. But that, as you say, it feeds very much into the overall style of it. It's very Hollywood. I
think it very much depends how you feel about it, because I thought the score was excellent, but because I was completely in it, so probably completely fair to say it's manipulative. But it's like, yeah, manipulate me, baby. I'm ready. I'm with you. I'll do anything. What's that? You want me to cry? Yeah, I will. You want me to be scared? Now I am.
You got any other changes?
So the change I would make from a production point of view is I would have just said to Russell, dial down the fucking ticks, mate. Just look at the floor. That'll do. And deliver your line. Because, I mean, again, I think it is a very broad thing because they're trying to tell everyone that, like, hey, this guy's socially awkward. But yeah, it was a bit, that early bit was just a bit like, oh, okay, Russ, we get it.
Yeah, I mean, again, bit into the plot, but the socially awkwardness stuff was a little bit hit you over the head with it a little bit as well, with some of the scenes.
Yeah, fair enough.
But there you go. You ready to play a game?
Oh, yes.
To play a game.
Mm-hmm.
Tag lies.
Okay,
so this movie had multiple taglines. You know what a
Mm-hmm.
tagline is, right?
Are you saying tag lines? I thought you were saying tag lies.
I am saying tag lies.
Oh, so right, okay, right. Yeah, I get you. Right. I'm ready to spot these lies of tag lines.
So can you spot which of these is really for A Beautiful Mind and which are for either other films or ones I've just made up?
Right.
So
I'm going to tell you.
You can say tag truth or tag lie.
Tag truth. By the way, what music would you like over this?
I don't know. I don't know if I've got some music. You can find something if you like.
Yeah. Okay. I hope this doesn't ruin your game, but apparently, in the run up to the publicity for this film in the run up to release.
Oh, I imagine they went full throttle, didn't they?
They fucking told everybody about the twist.
No, they didn't.
Yeah. So I read some stuff where people were basically didn't watch it at the time because like, well, once I'd found there's no fucking point, and they've revisited it later.
I imagine that would be really annoying. So it's annoying enough knowing there is a twist.
Yeah.
You know, not even if you don't know what the twist is, to know that there is a twist. So you're watching a film throughout the whole thing, going, when's this twist coming?
So if any of these taglines say fucking hint at a twist, I'm going to say they're true. The stupid bastards. No, but we spoke about this before. I did not know anything about this film when I watched it. I watched it because it was on the back of Gladiator, and I love Russell Crowe in Gladiator. And what a way to experience a film when you don't know anything about it. Can you imagine knowing that?
I'd quite like to experience all films in that way, but it's
difficult, isn't it?
But while someone also filtered out the absolute shit for me, so I didn't have to like pre-filter a little bit. Yeah. But yeah, anyway,
go on.
Let's play Tag Lies.
I'm excited.
Okay, so everything is possible when you open your mind.
Now she does say,
is that a tag truth?
I want to
or a
believe
tag
that
lie?
Something extraordinary is possible when she's talking about me getting well. Let's say that's a tag truth.
It's a tag lie. It's from the
fair
film
enough.
Limitless.
It's a good lie. Yeah. So are these all other films?
It's a mixture.
Oh, damn it, because there would have been a secondary game.
Anyway, the only thing greater than the power of the mind is the courage of the heart.
Oh, well, he pretty much says that at the end in his acceptance speech, so we've got to go tag truth there.
It is a tag truth. It's also capitalised to the max. Every single word apart from the and of the and is the and of the is capitalised. A bit excessive, but hey ho. His mind changed our world. Her love changed his.
Well, I mean, that's very on brand. Although you wouldn't necessarily know that his mind changed our world from the film. I'm going to go tag truth again.
It's tag lie. It's from another Oscar Beatty disability film, The Theory of Everything.
I saw a lot of stuff about how this film had spawned The Theory of Everything and many imitators.
Watch for the signs.
No, I'm going to have to say that's a tagline.
It is. It's from Silver Linings Playbook.
Yeah.
Another film about a mental illness. See a theme here?
Mm-hmm.
Love is the most powerful equation of all.
Well, on pure game theory here, I'm going to have to say that's tag true.
I just made it up.
Did you actually just make it up?
Yeah.
That's very good.
Yeah.
You've outgamed me.
Unlock the mysteries of a genius. A journey through love, brilliance, and redemption.
Of course, this really does only leave me with tag true at this stage.
No, that's one that AI made up for me.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah. I said, make a tagline for A Beautiful Mind. Okay. He saw the world in a way no one could have imagined.
Have you got? I've been banking on the
It's the last one.
Sheer probabilities of tag true for 3 in a row now. Tag true.
Yes.
Yes.
He saw the world in a way no
Stop
one could
clock.
have imagined. There we go. So that was pretty poor, Carl, I'll be honest.
Yeah, fair enough.
We'll do this again, though. I think
like
there's
it.
some legs in this one.
I like it.
So yeah, there we go. That was Tag Lies. And that is the end of part 1. Tune in later in the week for part 2.